Alright, so today I'm trying to weld my blade on my tractor. As you can see, it's in pretty bad condition. I cut up some bed rails. That's what I'm going to start out with. I'm probably going to end up putting some rebar in there. I might even have to get some heavier gauge angle iron. So I bought this welder at Harbor Freight. For some reason in the magazine it was $250. I get there and it was like $290. So the next day I went back there and I saw the same one in an open box for $230. So they have a 90-day return policy. So I bought the other one for $230, brought it home, and then the next day I went back and to get my money back for the first one I bought for $290. And of course they want to charge me a $50 restock fee, which is a bunch of bullshit, but whatever, man. So alright, so I tried to run it on the 110 that it comes with off of this outlet right here on my pole, and it didn't do shit. As you can see, I might have got one little weld to hold, but all day I sat there for whatever hours I spent, man, this shit was just sparking like crazy, and it wasn't putting down a bead and all that. Kind of even messed up my new mask, throwing shit all over the lens, and I got a lot of burn spots on it already, but whatever. All right, so now today I'm going to try to do it off of my generator. I had to go buy these adapters, right? I'll try to show you. So what I got to do is I got to run it off of this 30 amp 120 to 240, right? Because that damn outlet right there, that 110, I was running it off of, because this thing comes with an adapter running on 110. But that particular outlet of mine, it only had, I looked in there on the breaker box, it only puts out about 15 amps, and that ain't enough to burn no bead, especially on some hardened steel like this. So I'm hoping, you know, I've seen a few guys on YouTube use a generator. So let me show you what I got here. First of all, this is the 30 amp 4-prong twist in that goes into the generator. And then I had this adapter. Well, I bought a 240 outlet thing. I was just going to cut this end off of here because this plug on the plug on the welder is a straight. Well, that's the 110. Anyway, even the 240 on there is a straight. This is the adapter that the welder comes with here. It goes from this 240 straight to the 110 here. And I don't even know if this is going to work, but I'm going to try it. And then I'm going to plug my little adapter here into the 110 on there. All right, that makes it to that. And then I'm going to plug that into my but in any case, I did buy a receptacle, 240 receptacle, because I do have 240 from a jacuzzi I used to have coming out of my carport over there. So if all else fails, if this don't work, but even if this does work, this will be a way I can do mobile welding if I want, or save on my damn electric bill, which is outrageous anyway, man. I wish somebody would come up with one of them Tesla coils or something, because this is ridiculous how much money they steal from you in electricity every month, or at least me. I'm paying $500 this month for my place and my rental next door. It's ridiculous, man. And I'm the most conservative person you ever met. I mean, how much money do they really need to steal from people every day? I mean, it's billions. So, all right, I'll get back to you and let you know if this works. Plus, I thought the best thing to do is put your ground as close as you can to what you're welding. This is what I'm going to weld first right here, where I pulled this together with this little vise. I'm going to weld this first, and then I'm put that angle iron in there. And there's still some gaps along the bottom. I had to cut these off with my grinder right here because it was sticking up too high. It's still sticking up, but you know, I'm going to stick a piece of rebar probably in there, and then I'm going to probably weld the front side too. I'm using 6011 1/8 inch right now. I'm gonna try to anyway, and if that don't work, then I'm gonna go down to the 1132. Is it 1132? 332 6011, because it's a skinnier rod. I'm gonna try maybe if these don't work, that won't work. If that won't work, then I'll try that. So, but anyway, I was saying, when I first was doing it the other day, I tried to put this ground close as I could, but what happened? Some sparks went down in here in this copper and burnt it in half. So be careful having your anything too close to these sparks and stuff. I guess it ain't gonna spark as much once I get to lay down a bead where it's not too little amps to actually weld, where it's popping little sparks all over the place. And I try to move the welder as far back as I can too, and especially the generator, because it's got a gas tank and you don't want no sparks flying on that sucker. All right, I'll let you see it when I try to do some. Well, I don't know why, but this setup did absolutely nothing. I tried it on the 110 and the 240 all the way up with the generator running, and I couldn't get no spark out of it whatsoever. It looks like it's down to putting that receptacle in my carport. Since I had bought the 332 6011, which is supposed to be a really easy rod to weld with, figure what the hell, I might as well try this 110 again. But after this, I'm done with the 110 altogether. I'll never screw with it again. I mean, as you can see, it just doesn't burn hot enough. I mean, it laid down a little bit of a weld there, but it just don't get hot enough, man. So I'm gonna hook up that 240 over there, my carport. We'll see how that goes. All right, so I gave up on trying to weld with the 120. I mean, you can use the 332 rods, is the only way I think you're gonna do it. So now I hooked up a 240, but it's actually closer to 250. It's like 248. And yeah, much better. My welding ain't worth the shit, of course, still. But you know what? At least I can hit it with a hammer and it actually welded some shit. So with practice, I think I'll get it. Just gotta clean my surfaces up better, I think. I made this sledgehammer, put a few spikes in there and welded across some spikes in there, and it works. I might try welding it a little bit more with some 332. Anyway, maybe I'll get a shot of this when I get done. Got a lot of welding to do. I bet this shit's gonna kill my electric bill too. It's already high as hell. When is somebody gonna invent a Tesla coil you can hook right up to your house? Stop these bastards from ripping us off from so much money all the time on electric. Anyway, I like the little machine. I think I'm gonna get pretty good at this with enough practice. Guess my first actual real weld didn't go too bad. I took this sledgehammer head and I put it in this wooden pole with some aluminum around it. I stuck some spikes in there and welded the spikes to the metal. Seems like it worked out pretty good. Haven't really put it to the test yet. However, my welds on my tractor blade held out. I guess I'm just tack welding right now. I put that rebar and that damn bed rail on there and I tack welded all across, and that all seemed to hold out. But one of the main welds I did didn't hold out right there. Holding that to there, because I need that to push backwards, and I need to be able to push backwards, and it broke loose pretty easy. So I think tomorrow I'm gonna put some metal across here, like 3 or 4 places, some thick metal across there, and try to weld it to that. See how that goes.